So Steve thinks this is the nastiest thing ever. But this is coming from someone who eats chitlins. Hey you guys, so today is April 4th. And I'm losing track of my days. April 4th is Thursday. Yesterday I was discharged from the hospital. So I am jumping in, trying to catch up and get a video out for you guys on Fridays like I typically do. In this video, it's going to be quite interesting. It might be really nasty for some of you guys, but I will be trying a placenta smoothie. That placenta is my placenta, and yeah, I'm excited about it actually. So anyways, I'm going to kind of give you guys a backstory on how this all came about, because I know there are probably a lot of curious minds on the whole topic. And I keep looking over here because baby girl is asleep. The timing of this video is just all over the place. Yeah. Babe just walked in through the door, so there's going to be a lot of commotion going on because it's either now or never. You know, the baby's asleep and I have time, so I gotta do it now. Why am I doing this? So if anyone who really knows me knows that I love holistic, natural remedies for a lot of stuff. I would prefer to go that route versus taking any medicine or any other route. So for me, consumption of the placenta, if you tell me it's good for you and it's natural, I'm pretty much on board for the most part. Even with like delivery, I kind of wanted to do a home natural birth, and the only reason why I did not go that route is because the midwives that were approved under my insurance didn't have the best reviews. But anyways, so the benefits of consumption of the placenta. So it's supposed to help in aiding in post recovery. So it's supposed to help in aiding in postpartum depression. It's supposed to help boost your energy and your mood, reduce bleeding, and boost milk production. So for me, I'm not experiencing postpartum depression. I didn't experience it with my son. My recovery is speeding along. I'm already not really seeing a lot of bleeding, and I'm only in like day 4 since birth. So the only real benefit that I'm trying to get out of this is the boost in milk production. So for me, I am not one of those people who've been blessed to have like a super abundance of milk. With my son, I've tried everything under the sun to boost my milk production, and none of it really worked. I've tried lactation cookies and recipes and drunk tons of water, and I've tried expensive products, and I've tried super pumping, and I've tried everything. I've even tried different positions with my like breastfeeding my son at the time, all of it, and my milk production was just kind of like wonky. So for me, the benefit that I'm hoping to get out of this is a boost in milk production. So right now, you know, after I'm only 4 days after giving birth, so my breasts are just now starting to get heavy from the breastfeeding, from the pumping, and trying to meet my baby's needs. So I am not expecting to pump a lot of milk right now anyways, because my baby is 4 days old. So my body's only going to produce milk that she needs for right now. So like literally, this is how much milk that she probably drinks during a feeding. And like I have a vial that's like filled to this point, and I was pumping for about like 20 minutes, and it's like right here, but this is what she needs. So I'm not expecting to pump like 16 or 32 ounces in a day. Oh, a lot of doctors and medical professionals, there are skepticism about the benefits behind placenta, because there are no evidence to suggest that these proposed claims work. But for me, that simply means it has not been tested, and it hasn't been tested. It hasn't really been tested. So there's no evidence to support it because there's no one who's been testing it. So forms of consuming your placenta, you can encapsulate it and make it into pills. You can drink it in a smoothie. You can dry it out like jerky. You can cook it like meat. I'm gonna do the smoothie route. The only other option I would have done was the encapsulation, but I didn't realize you have to have that stuff kind of like pre-planned out. because someone would need to come and pick it up in a timely enough fashion to transport it where they need to transport it, so that it's like safe. You're dealing with blood. You're dealing with blood like you are dealing with like raw meat. Like, it has to be stored at a certain temperature and transported in a very proper manner. So that's why it needs to be pre-planned out. Also, the process costs about like $200, which isn't bad, but I don't think you get that much of a supply. If I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a 6-month supply or 60-day supply. I don't remember. But for me, I'm like, let me just do the smoothie route. I don't really have any reservations with it, so that's what I'm gonna do. How this kind of came about. So very recently, I think in 2016, Texas is one of 3 states that allow mothers to take their placenta home from the hospital. So along with Texas, there's Oregon and Hawaii that allow you to do that. So when I gave birth to my son in 2016, I wanted to take home my placenta. I let my doctor know that was part of my birth plan. That's what I wanted to do. But at that time, he was like, you know, first of all, he was skeptical of it. And at that time, there was nothing in place by the hospital to allow me to do that. So it was something that I wasn't allowed to do. This time around, my nurse asked me, do you want to take your placenta home? And I was surprised by it because again, it was, my son is 2 and it wasn't that long ago when I delivered at that hospital. But yeah, nonetheless, I was like, oh my God, yeah. Like, yeah. If you are agreeing to take home your placenta in Texas, you have to sign a release form indicating that's your choice. And on that release form also kind of like tells you the proper measures of handling the placenta. Also, for you to be allowed to take home the placenta, you have to be free of any infectious diseases. So throughout your pregnancy, you will be tested to see if you have certain diseases that are harmful for you and your baby. And pretty much if you've been cleared of any of them, you can take home your placenta. When I was like, yeah, I want to take it home, she was like, okay, just make sure you have a cooler full of ice, or you know, your boyfriend has a cooler full of ice, so that as soon as I remove the placenta, you can properly store it, because you know, it has to be a fast movement. So they already had the container on it. It had my name and my doctor's name on that container, and he stored it and took it home, and that's that. So earlier I made my placenta smoothie. I have not drunk it yet. I made it and I put it in the freezer until I was ready to consume it. But anyways, I am gonna try it in front of you guys right now as a first impression on how it tastes. But before I do that, I will show you the recipe that I made in making it. If you are queasy and you do not want to see what the placenta, I suggest you skip that part. You don't look at it. If you kind of want to see bits of the recipe, I'll, like, throughout the recipe part, I'll put a little disclaimer like, okay, skip this part if you don't like physically want to see the placenta, but you want to see the recipe. So yeah, I'm saving you guys the grossness. But anyways, yeah. So there's really not much to this recipe. You can find recipes online, but I just kind of wing it. So I'm using fresh frozen berries, chia seeds, a little bit of water, and of course my placenta for this recipe. So first things first, I'm using food prep gloves because, you know, I'm dealing with blood and I use these when I'm dealing with meat. So again, here are the ingredients to my concoction. So this is the container in which my placenta is stored. Just as kind of like a disclaimer, if you are wanting to skip the placenta part, I will just go ahead and start skipping now for the next 20 seconds. This was actually my very first time ever seeing a placenta, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of grossed me out a little bit, but I dug it out. So I wanted to show you how I properly dispose of my gloves. I'm dealing with blood, so I wanted to properly and carefully take them off so I'm not getting unnecessary blood everywhere. So I have the drink before me. I mean, it looks like a regular smoothie. It was a little bit more red, of course, because there's blood in it. But yeah, so anyways, it smells good. It smells fine. I'm gonna go ahead and sip it, and if I don't like it, you guys will know. So yeah. it doesn't taste any different than a smoothie. Like, it tastes like my regular smoothie. Like, I can't even tell. So it's good. I'm gonna go ahead and sip through this because I'm hungry. So I finished up my placenta smoothie. I tried to finish it up within like 15 minutes because, again, it has like blood in it, and you gotta be really careful about stuff like that, so I have to consume it really fast. But anyways, it was good. It didn't taste any different than my regular smoothie concoction at all. I will do an update on whether or not it boosted my milk supply like I expected it to be, and if it gave me a boost of energy and any other like side effects with this. So I think I have enough for about like a week or two worth of like doing daily smoothies, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll do a little update in about a week or two, depending on, you know, if I've seen any perceived benefits from it or not. But yeah, thanks for watching. I know it was pretty gross, but thanks for watching and keeping an open mind.